Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do with this Keyblade challenge. I know some people have already done it probably. I'm sure there's like Discords floating around, but here's a video showing you exactly what this weird method is that allows you to complete this potentially a little bit easier than it has been done before. Okay, so obviously if you're doing this quest, you are aiming for the gems because to get gems as a reward is fantastic. Unfortunately, these are really hard quests if you don't have the setups because they're limiting your Keyblade, meaning you're kind of limited in which metals you can use. Luckily, you can still use a friend medal, but even still, you have to have good setups with multiple Keyblades in order to get all the gems here. The big thing to take away from here is if you can get this one, if you can get the Sun Gem and the Moon Gem. These are the two big ones you want to aim for because they are sort of limited and hard to find, and you need them in order to level up your reverse Keyblades, so the Darkna, the Missing Ache, and the Diamond Dust, and then you need the Sun Gems to level up the Fenrir, the Counterpoint, and the Sleeping Lion. So those are definitely the gems you want to aim for. This is the only quest where I didn't already complete it, so I'm going to show you the trick using this one here. Alright, so this is the trick here. So what you want to do is make sure you have a Keyblade that, first of all, completes your buffs within the first two. So the whole purpose of Woody in this setup is, one, he's a Supernova medal, but we'll get to that in a bit, and two, he brings my upright buffs to plus 15 and debuffs the enemy minus 15 upright. So the Kyrie does not have extra attack, it just has poison resist. The Woody here will bring it up to that 15 upright strength and decrease the enemy's defense by 15 upright defense. And that sets up for my Guardian form Sora, which doesn't do any sort of buffing, so I have to have perfect upright buffs by the time I get to Guardian form Sora. That's why it's there. I'm not saying you have to duplicate the setup. It's not the kind of strategy where you have to duplicate a setup. It's really more so the method. So these are the traits and the medals that I'm using in case anyone's wondering. I am going to be using a shared Supernova Plus HD Terra, Ventus, and Aqua that has extra attack and aerial and strength traits on it. So I'll be using that as my shared medal. But these are the traits for your reference. The most important thing to know about all the medals is that they are all Supernova. That is going to be the first part of the strategy, is making sure that every single medal that you have in this setup is Supernova. Alright, so the next thing you have to know is you're going to have to do some math. That's the big thing, is the whole thing about this strategy is you have to figure out how much damage you are going to be doing with certain types of attacks. So make sure you have a calculator out because I will sort of show you. I can't pull my calculator onto OBS right now, but I'll show you the method that I plan on using here. So this is the Supernova, Terra, Ven, and Aqua that I plan on using. Oh, it's got defense plus 1,000. I thought he totally replaced that. Okay, no worries. But yeah, this is the medal we're going to be using. And let's go ahead and jump right in. So the last part of this strategy is that you have to be willing to sacrifice 100 jewels. And I know for some people that's like a big no-no, but when you think about it, you're getting a gem. And gems, you get 20 of them in a board that costs 3,500 jewels. So it's pretty much like you're almost paying 200 jewels per gem with that board. But for a cheap 100 jewels, you can get another gem if you crunch out the math correctly. So let's go ahead and just show you the strategy here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to buff with Kyrie to make sure that we have maximum strength buffs and that they have maximum defense debuffs. And then we are going to activate one of our Supernovas that gives plus 250% special attack bonus. That way everything downstream from here is going to be doing the maximum amount of damage it possibly can. Alright. So we are just going to truck along here. I kind of messed up the math a little bit, and I'll show you why in just a second. So the main strategy here is you actually expect to get knocked out once. You should fully expect to get completely mauled by these, in this case, the possessors. We're going to get completely mauled here, and then we revive. So we don't have second chance 4 on here. So that was the most important thing, is that it doesn't have second chance 4. If you have second chance 4, it kind of screws up the whole strategy. So again, we activated our Kyrie, and then we are going to activate our... Did I screw this up? No, it's got all the defense buffs down that I needed to. All right, we're gonna activate our Vanitas, and that's gonna again give everything downhill from it, plus 250% guilt. They do have to be Supernova Plus in order to give that though. Keep that in mind. All right, so what we're gonna do from here is we are just going to start doing the math. So we're gonna start with the HP here, which is 1,409,579. Alright, so this is our start point, and this is what we got to figure out. So we're going to start just mauling our metal straight into this enemy, and then we are going to activate all of our supernova attacks towards the end. So we're just attacking it, just straight attempting to run it over. Alright, so we're on the last one. So it's important to stop here at the last one, because the Kingdom Hearts 3 Kairi will only buff itself and the next metal. So you have to stop on the last one in order to use that. Then we are going to activate all our supernova metals right here. Okay. And then lastly, we have to attack with our final metal. And that brings it down to 676,458. Ooh, boy. Alright. So, in that turn, I did 733,121 damage. Now, as you can see, there's only 676,458 health left, and we are only on turn 2, technically. So what you can do is you can pay 100 jewels to continue, and then all your supernova attacks come back, and it's only turn 3 still. So what we're going to do, we're going to activate our Kairi, and then we are going to, which one is stronger? So the Vanitas does times 220 multiplier, the Guardian Form Sora does times 220, so we will activate our Vanitas here. And then we're just going to run into the enemy again, because we know that with all the supernovas that we activated last turn, plus the damage we did from our metals, it is enough to take this enemy down. And again, we got to slow up our roll towards the end here. And then we just unleash all our supernovas, because when you revive yourself using that method, all your supernova attacks come back. So we should be able to get this with, there you go, it's done. And we got it. Within 3 turns, we were able to get it. We had to pay 100 jewels, and I know some people don't want to do that. It's arguable that you'd want to even do it in this case, because all I did was get a magic gem. I had to continue, but that doesn't matter, because the price for that is irrelevant. The prize we are looking for is, boom, we got the magic gem. So for 100 jewels, making sure you did the math properly, you're able to get the gem a little bit easier because you're able to restore all of your supernova attacks. And remember, the way this game updated is that all of these supernova attacks will now have ground enemy defense minus 60 and aerial enemy defense minus 60. So they are very, very powerful attacks, and to be able to restore all of them and be able to meet that complete within 3 turns objective is very, very, very good. So hopefully that gives people some ideas if you haven't already completed the quest. I know my video is kind of late. I haven't been really playing too much Union Cross as of late, as I said in my video like 4 or 5 videos ago. But yeah, hopefully this gives people some ideas. Hopefully this gets you closer to getting those gems, because again, this the moon gem here and the sun gem here, this one, the sun gem here are very, very hard resources to come across. Sometimes you have to get them from avatar boards, sometimes you have to clear certain super hard events. So make sure you do your math, make sure that all the metals are supernova, make sure you do the damage correctly. That's the big thing. You got to make sure the damage totals out correctly, otherwise you can be facing a very, very tough time, and you're also at 100 jewels. Oh my gosh, you're at 100 gems, that'd be awful. So hopefully that was some good advice, a little good tip in order to help people kind of get these gems a little bit easier. Again, it's not for everyone. This is definitely not an event meant to be completed by everyone, but if you're just a smidge too far from getting that gem, you just need that extra damage push, hopefully this is a good method for you to get that. With that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If there are any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.